Hey everybody, welcome back to 1 Cent Sports Cards YouTube channel. Today is a great day because today is the day that Bowman Baseball 2020 finally arrives. It has started to hit retail stores. It may be delayed for hobby a little bit, but as such, it's been a while since we've done one, but it is time to do my 2020 Bowman Baseball set guide and review. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it because we got a lot to cover off on. So let's click over, and what we'll do is get right into it. Let's get into our slideshow mode, and away we go. So part of the 1 Cent Sports Cards set guide and review, we have exclusive to this channel the Sensational Set Ranking. So here's what that is. We take the Bowman Baseball set, break it into 10 different categories, everything from card quality to the auto checklist to cost value to production run and odds, 10 different categories, and in each category we rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. Then we take all of those and add each of those categories up to come up with an overall score, which will give us our Sensational Set Ranking, and will tell us how good that this set is overall compared to other sets historically, and we'll put it up against all of the other 2020 sets to see how it ranks against other 2020 sets. So be on the lookout for that. That is at the end of this review, but in the meantime, we have a lot to cover off on. We're going to be covering the set highlights, kind of what the set is all about and what to be looking for, what the different buying formats are. We'll dive down into what the key cards are in this. We will go into who should be collecting Bowman and who shouldn't. And yes, there are plenty of people who shouldn't be collecting Bowman. We'll take a look and do a deep dive into the inserts and autos and relics, or in this case, the lack thereof in relics. And then we have a fun part of the set review, which is break team targets. So which teams should you be targeting in a break? I'll give you some advice on which ones I would target, maybe a few sleeper teams in there. And then that will get us to the the overall positives of the set, the overall negatives of the set, which will bring us to the 1 Cent Sensational Set Rating, where we will rate the cards, as I mentioned earlier. And then we'll round it off with where the set ranks to date compared to all of the other 2020 sets. So let's begin. What is Bowman? Here's the set highlights. Obviously, you guys, it is a fan favorite prospect set. This year, it's like many other years, going to have a 100-card base set checklist, which has stars and rookies in it. And then it's got the 150 prospect base cards. And out of those 150 for Bowman Baseball this year, there's going to be 35 first Bowman cards. Those are the ones that everyone is after. Then as a third part of what I would say is the standard set is the 150 card, identical to the 150 prospect base cards, but they will all be the Bowman Chrome prospect cards. So it's the Chrome versions. So you have the 150 cards there. And if you want guaranteed autos, you're going to be having to look towards the hobby portion of the set. And hobby boxes, you've got 1 on-card auto per box, and you've got 3 per hobby jumbo. Then there are the base in Chrome rainbow parallel. So the paper has a rainbow parallel and the Chrome has a rainbow parallel, and we're going to get into what that means later on. Then new for 2020, we've got 3 new insert sets. The Spanning the Globe set, which highlights players from different countries. The Hidden Finds, which highlights players that were low draft picks that ended up being great draft picks later on. And then we also have the 30th anniversary 90 Bowman insert set, which is an ode to the 1990 Bowman design. Finally, we have a new design for 2020. It is a full border design. Awesome that it's a full border design. Really clean design this year. I think most people are enjoying it. And then obviously you cannot cover off on the set highlights for Bowman Baseball without covering off on the parallels. So there are the paper parallels. These are the ones that you will find in hobby and retail, but a little bit more geared towards retail. And what you'll have there is the camo base parallel. That is going to be exclusive to the value packs, which are only $11 if you can find them in stores, which that is a big if right now. And then you've got sky blue, purple, blue, green, which is retail only. You got yellow, which is new for this year. You've got gold, you've got orange, which is hobby only. And then of course, red, platinum, and printing plates. And then the ever daunting chrome parallel rainbow. Won't go into all of these, but you guys can see here some of the highlights here. You've got atomic refractors, which are going to be in hobby packs only. They'll land one per box. You do have the yellows again. You've got the green. All the green parallels are going to be retail only. And then you've got the orange, which will be hobby only. And the oranges will be numbered to 25. Super awesome cards there. Then we'll get right into buying formats. So I'm not going to cover off on cases. If you're buying cases, you probably know most of the stuff already. But so with the box buying formats, we're gonna have hobby and retail. So the first one is hobby. You've got the hobby box, which is 24 packs. You get 10 cards per pack, so 240 total cards per box. The current price on this is around 250 to 300 bucks. So just that's what it's going to cost to buy into this at this point. So your cost per card is going to equal about $1.04. That's a pretty high cost per card for this, but you are guaranteed to get one on-card auto. Then there is the HTA Jumbo Hobby Boxes, which give you 12 packs with 32 cards per pack. So that's 384 total cards. The current price, and I may have this low, is around 510. I actually think it's closer to 550. So your cost per card on that is $1.33. Now, a lot of that is inflated prices. If you got in really early on pre-sales on this, obviously your price on these were a little bit lower, but that was really hard to come by. You are guaranteed to get 3 autos. Now, one more thing about Hobby. Hobby is going to be delayed. It probably will not be coming out this week. Should be coming out in the next couple weeks. Retail, however, looks like it will be coming out this week. So let's get into that. The first format, the biggest format you're going to find in retail is the Mega Box. You can only find those at Target. Now, I haven't found a lot of information on the Mega Box yet. If you have some, comment below. And while we're talking about commenting below, go ahead and throw over to first, hit that like button, subscribe if you like this, if you like these reviews, because we're going to be doing them for a lot of the new sets coming out, do a lot of different breaks and stuff. So definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you can get the notifications of when these set reviews go live. Back to the Mega Box. So if it's like years past, what you're going to get in that is 4 packs. Each pack will have 10 cards per pack, and then you get 2 Chrome parallel packs with 5 cards each. So you get 50 total cards, and the box is only 20 bucks. The cost per card on that is only 40 cents. So a drastic reduction in cost per card, but it's going to be real hard to find this stuff in retail too, because everyone's going to be buying it up. Then there is the ever-present blaster box. That's going to have 6 packs, 12 cards per pack, so 72 total cards for 20 bucks. That is your lowest cost per card at 28 cents. The value pack, which I think is some sneaky good value here. It comes with 2 packs plus 1 5-card parallel pack. That is those camo paper parallels, which in years past have been pretty popular. So you get 29 total cards for basically 11 bucks, $10.98. The cost per card on that only 38 cents, and you do get the 5 camo parallels. So that's a pretty nice buy there. Then of course there's the fat pack, going to have 19 cards per pack, costs you about 7 bucks, cost per card of around 37 cents. And then retail packs, which will be in your gravity feed and retail display boxes. You get 12 cards per pack on that, going to cost you around 5 bucks. So your cost per pack is, or cost per card that should say, is going to be 42 cents. So that's all the different ways that you can buy into this stuff outside of the secondary market, which boy, I would steer clear from. All right, so what are the key cards in Bowman Baseball this year? Well, for our base cards, and keep in mind this is including the first 100 cards as well, there are plenty of rookie cards in this set. So for our true rookie cards, what we're going to have is the Luis Robert rookie card, the Bo Bichette. Those will probably be the two most sought after ones. But obviously this is a prospect set, so let's get into those. The lightning hot right now, just white hot, Jason Dominguez is in this set, card number BP8. We've got Jason Dominguez was like the top international signing. He's with the Yankees, so just a lot of hype around Jason Dominguez. You've got Bobby Witt Jr., second overall pick in last year's draft. And then some of the other nice cards in this set for prospects are Shouldnt Apostle, Jarren Duran of the Red Sox, and Robert Puason for the Oakland A's. He is also another international signing that is a very good player. And then some other key cards to look for as you are opening packs of this. We'll get into parallels, autos, short prints, and relics. Obviously, the 35 first Bowman cards, the parallels and parallel autos of those, anything that's in a rainbow of those are that's the reason this set exists. Then we have the yellow parallels, which that's a new color for 2020. You can see what those look like over to the right with Luis Robert over there. So really neat looking yellow parallels. You've got the orange refractors, which are numbered to 25. Those are hobby exclusive. And then there are atomic variation autos that are going to be numbered to 100 as well. So those are pretty cool. And then finally we have that to round out the parallels and stuff, the 1990 Bowman buyback autographs. Those are going to be autographs of actual 1990 Bowman cards, which will be autographed. So some chances for some pretty cool retired stars there. With the new insert, we've got the Hidden Finds insert, which is going to land one per hobby box. Those will also be autoed. We kind of already went over what the Hidden Finds inserts are, but those will be sought after because they're a little bit, one per box is a little bit more scarce, so that might be the subset to collect. Then you've got uber hard to find, but if you can get one, the dual Bowman Prospect Auto cards, that's awesome. And then the Bowman Scouts Top 100, which is another insert set. Gary V has a variation of some of those cards, so those will be sought after as well. So the question becomes, after we covered off on all those highlights, is who should be collecting this? First and foremost, obviously, prospect collectors. This is the definitive set for prospect cards in the collecting hobby. There isn't a better set to collect if you like collecting prospects. The other one, which this is a double-edged sword. If you're a card investor, obviously this is a set that holds a lot of potential future value. It is a very speculative set. Some of these cards can end up being worth a ton, and if the player doesn't pan out, they can end up in a common pile just as quickly. But investors are all over this set. That's why prices are inflated. It's a little bit of a double-edged sword with the hobby becoming more popular. But some other people that should be collecting are people who collect teams. Obviously, this is the first time some of these players will have cards in. And so this would be the newest members of your favorite team. So you can collect all the new members and the minor leaguers and whatnot that are coming up through the system from your favorite team, which is always fun to do. So team collectors, definitely collecting this set. And then another one that I think is your more advanced collectors, people that know a lot about baseball. And the pipeline in the draft, in particular, the international draft and the regular draft. Advanced collectors that know that stuff have the most success at knowing which cards that they should be targeting. A lot of the quote-unquote investors will just buy up as much of this and hold on to as much of it as possible. Well, that costs a lot of money to do. The more advanced collectors are very much going to know the certain cards that they want to get out of this, and they save a lot of money by doing it that way. And if you're into investing and collecting that way, it's a lot smarter to do it that way, but you actually have to have knowledge of baseball and know the talent pipeline, which with how many quote-unquote investors we have in the hobby today, not a lot of them know enough about the actual sport itself to be really good at doing that. And then our retail shoppers. Our retail shoppers have like a double plethora of good luck on this. Walmart, Walmart, Target, and all the other places that are going to be selling Bowman, they're not going to inflate the prices like the secondary market is right now, and the secondary distributors. I'm looking at you, Blowout Cards, in Steel City Collectibles. But the retail stores will still sell your blaster box for $20. They're still going to sell all your value packs and all of that. And on top of that, it looks like retail is going to hit on time, and it is hobby that is going to be delayed for a couple weeks. So you've got a good array of retail options you can buy into, and it's going to be your only affordable entry point into Bowman this year. Finally, here, parallel chasers should be all over this. There's the huge paper rainbow, the huge chrome rainbow, probably my favorite part about collecting this set. So then you get into who shouldn't be collecting, and there's plenty of types of people that should not be collecting Bowman Baseball, although most of them probably will anyways. Number one would be your budget-minded collector. So if you're on a limited budget, look, the prices on this stuff are really inflated on the secondary distributors and the secondary market. If you can find retail stuff, that's great. Definitely try and buy it if you can. But because of all the people that are going to go into retail stores and buy it all up so they can resell it on the secondary market, it's going to be really hard to find on the secondary market. And it's just that in demand. So if you can get lucky, but I would, if you are a budget-minded collector, don't fall prey to people that are going to be on eBay in the secondary market selling blaster boxes for $50-$60. There's better things that you can, there's better cards and sets that you can buy into. But if you can get lucky, you know, take a shot, get a blaster or two for yourself. And then also we have relic collectors out there, and there are no relics in this set, so steer clear of Bowman. Definitely do not buy Bowman if you like relics. Novice collectors, we kind of went into this on who should collect, but novice collectors that don't know a lot about the pipeline should probably stay away from this. It's really expensive, and it's not an approachable set. If you do not know who all the minor leaguers are and top prospects, and maybe not even top prospects, but like second tier prospects, it's not a very approachable set. You're going to see a ton of breakers out there that do not know a lick about minor league baseball and the prospects. They will know the 4 or 5 big cards that they're looking for, but you are going to see a bunch of breakers and a bunch of people breaking this stuff that have no idea of what they're actually talking about. I hope that I don't fall into that. I try and keep up on the pipeline as much as possible for the minor leagues. But novice collectors, look, if you're just trying to buy as much as you can because you think it costs way too much money to be doing that this year. The other thing is people that collect Hall of Fame players. Outside of that 1990 Bowman buyback autographs, you ain't going to find any Hall of Fame players in this set. So I would steer clear as well. And then traditionalists, people that like traditional designs, people that like the flagship sets. This is Bowman's flagship set, I guess. But there's nothing vintage about Bowman outside of the name these days. It is a very high fidelity, high design set. I really like the design of it, but if you're into a traditional set, the T206 series that they're doing right now, probably a better set to be buying into and a lot cheaper. And then finally, people, if you are one of those people that believe we're in a second junk wax era, this is definitely a set to stay away from. Prices are inflated. It's a bubble. Bubbles pop. Definitely a set that if you are someone that believes that this is all going to crash at some point, I definitely steer clear of this one because of the inflated prices. Okay, so with that, let's get into some of the inserts and some of the autos and stuff like that. So with the inserts, we'll cover off on this pretty quick. I really like the inserts this year. There's the 1990 Bowman set inserts. There's going to be 50 cards in that subset. We've got the Bowman Scouts Top 100, obviously they've got 100 cards in that. They're going to land in 1 and 4 packs. And by the way, these pack odds that I'm showing on screen, those are going to be most likely for hobby packs. So Bowman Scouts Top 100 100 cards there. And then there's the super cool Bowman Scouts Top 100 Gary V variations. There's only 18 cards in that set. Really can't wait to see what those look like. I've not seen them yet. Not sure about pack odds on that, but I'm sure they will be a limited run on those. You've got the Hidden Finds, which is the low draft pick, high reward players that have come up through the years. So there's 20 cards. Those land in 1 out of 24. One of the tougher, if not the toughest insert set to be collecting. And that is a hobby-only exclusive. You've got the Rookie of the Year favorites. There's 15 cards. Those land 1 in 8 packs. Interesting fact about those, Yordan Alvarez is on that checklist. Yordan Alvarez already run a Rookie of the Year and has no chance of winning a second one. So not sure why he is in that set, but he is. You've got the Spanning the Globe, which is what you see to the right with Wander Franco, which highlights players from other countries. 20 cards in that set, landing 1 in 6 packs. And then we've got the Talent Pipeline, which showcases 3 players from each team that are coming up through the system. Some of their higher rated prospects, those land 1 in 6. And all of these insert sets will have refractor parallels: Atomic, Green, Gold, Orange, Red, and Superfractor. So now let's get into the autos. Autos is what most people are after in this set, and they're after those parallel autos. So the 1990 Bowman subset will have auto refractors. There'll be 33 cards. They are exclusive to Hobby and Hobby Jumbo with the Superfractor parallel. You've also got, which should be pretty cool, the 1990 Bowman buyback autos. Not a lot of information on those yet. The cards are TBD on all the checklists right now, but those will be 1990 cards that were bought back, autographed, and then sent back out. If you hit this next one, the 2020 Bowman Ultimate Book Card, what that is, I believe it's like 15 different autos. It is a book card, nothing but autos in it of a bunch of different prospects. Some of them are really good prospects too. There's only one of those, and they are numbered to 10 only. So there's only 10 of those cards in existence. If you hit one of those, it'll be life-changing. It'll be the highlight of your hobby collecting season, guaranteed. You've got the All-America Game autos. The list is still to be determined on that, but they will be numbered 1 to 199, and they will be in Hobby and Hobby Jumbo only. Then you've got the Bowman Scouts Top 100 autos. There'll be 66 cards there. They will be numbered to 50 only, so really kind of a cool low-numbered auto if you hit one of those, and you can get a parallel Superfractor. And then continuing on, lots of autos in this set, guys. This is the ones that this Chrome Prospect autos. There will be 62 total autos with a huge rainbow. I won't go over all of these. Just know that green is retail only, orange is hobby only, and yellow is the new color for 2020. The rest of them you've seen before. The Chrome Prospects will land in hobby packs at a much more frequent rate than they will in the retail packs. The retail packs are basically going to have a lot of paper autos in them. We'll get into that in just a second. And then you've also got the Chrome Rookie Autos. Now this is rookie card. It's what you see over at the right. So it's not just prospects that have autos. You can get rookie autos. Aquino, I believe Alvarez, Gavin Lux. So some of those would be pretty awesome to hit. It's a 14 card set. Not quite as big of a rainbow, but you can see that they do have the hobby only orange refractor in there. Then more autographs. There's the dual Bowman Prospect autos. We covered off on those a little bit earlier. There's 6 cards. They're numbered to 25 each. It's got 2 autos on the card of prospects. Definitely hard cards to pull there, but if you're lucky enough to pull one, it would be awesome. You've got the Hidden Finds, which is what you see over to the right. There's going to be a 12 card set. They will be numbered to 99, so a little bit of a lower number there, with a few parallels that you can get in that. And then you've got the Prospect autos. Now these are the paper autos, not the Chrome autos. So these are the paper ones, so a little bit of a different rainbow. There will be 41 cards. These will land in retail only, so you're going to get a lot of paper autos in retail. So take that into account, and that kind of explains why the prices are more inflated for hobby, because retail is going to have a ton of paper autos, whereas hobby is going to have those Chrome ones, which are much more sought after. That being said, the paper autos are not anywhere near worthless, so still retail is still a great option, but you do get a purple, blue, green, gold, orange, red, and platinum rainbow for the prospect autos in retail. And then finally, we have the Rookie of the Year Favorites autos. There's going to be 11 cards in that set. They'll each be numbered to 150. They are exclusive to Hobby and Hobby Jumbo with a small rainbow of parallels. So that brings us into, as you now know most all you need to know about the set, then as we look at the team sets, what are some sneaky teams that you could buy into, or what are the must-have teams that you should be buying into if you're buying into breaks over on eBay that are not random team breaks? Here are 6 teams that I would recommend buying into. First is going to be the Detroit Tigers. A little bit of a sleeper team, but they do have 13 autos, and some of their prospects are very good, like Casey Mize is in there. So some really good autos in there. Plus, you've got 11 base cards, and a lot of those are prospect cards. So the Detroit Tigers shouldn't be too expensive to get. And if you get them, I think it'll reap some pretty good rewards on your investment. Then the Dodgers. So the Dodgers obviously are going to be expensive. However, the Dodgers, just by the sheer number of autos, they've got more autos that you can pull for the Dodgers than any other team this year. It's got 17 total autos. So yes, the Dodgers are going to cost you a pretty penny, but you've also got your best shot at pulling an auto if you buy the Dodgers. Then the Yankees. The Yankees are going to be the most expensive team you could buy because of Jason Dominguez. They do have 11 different autos in there. Here's why I would buy the Yankees. One, Jason Dominguez. If you're buying into like a case break or something like that, it's going to be expensive, but you'll probably end up getting a few Jason Dominguez's, and it'll probably end up paying off for you. So if you want the Yankees, bite the bullet, pay the high price, only do it once, or if you're that's the way I would handle the Yankees on this. But yes, it is definitely a team that if you can get it, it's a great team to have. Then you have the Oakland A's, which I'm not sure if this is going to be considered a sleeper or not, but the Oakland A's have a loaded checklist in 2020 Bowman. 15 different autos, 13 base cards, and by the way, Robert Puason is in there. He is basically, the A's believe he is much better than Jason Dominguez, and that may be true. His cards are not going for nearly as much as Jason Dominguez's cards, but he may end up being the better prospect of the two in the long run, and the A's have a ton of different autos in there. So definitely be on the lookout for the A's if you can get it for the right price. The San Diego Padres, great prospects in the Padres system. They do have 12 autos. I believe that you could get the Padres for a reasonable price, and they do have a high likelihood of getting an auto or two from the Padres. So if you can get the Padres, that would be another good one. And then the Tampa Bay Rays. They've got 16 autos in the checklist, and they also have Wander Franco. But Wander Franco is not their only good prospect. They have a ton of good prospects. Most of the prospects on the auto checklist will probably pan out to be pretty good players at the major league level. So the Rays, again, if you can get it for the right price, great team to target in a break. So with all that being said, what are the overall positives of Bowman? One, it's the definitive prospect set. There isn't a better set for prospects out there. Panini is not making one, well, they make plenty, but there's nothing like Bowman. So that is definitely a positive. Bowman has built up that reputation, and I think they extend that reputation into 2020. They're great investment cards. A lot of them will hold future value. So if you are looking to invest, it's a great investment set. The huge parallel rainbow, that's what makes this set fun to open pack after pack. Hitting some of those rainbows can totally make your day. So that's what makes opening these packs fun. And then for me, I actually think that the design for 2020 is much better this year. The borders are clean. It's just, they went back with a little bit more of a classic feel with the borders on it. Just an overall really nice design this year. I also like that they expanded the inserts this year and the subsets for 2020. The 3 new ones seem to be pretty neat, and they've kept a lot of the good ones like the top 100. So I think the inserts are really strong in 2020 baseball this year. And I also like that they did the exclusive autos for hobby and retail. So they've given a reason for people to pay the premium price for hobby, and they've given a reason for people to still chase retail, because there is all the paper autos that are going to be exclusive to retail, which is kind of a nice way to do it. And then finally, I think it's a positive that it's one of the first sets to come out since the pandemic shutdowns. There's going to be such a high demand for this. I don't know if it's a positive for all of us in the hobby, but it's definitely a positive for Topps. And I do think it's a positive for all us, because I think we're all itching to see some new cards here. So what are the negatives? Well, the first thing, and probably the most important one, is the inflated prices due to the high demand of this set and the swell of investor hobbyists that have come into the market in the last couple years. The investor hobbyists they will come in and buy a ton of this stuff, and they're only looking to resell it. They're not true collectors, but they do exist. A lot of the big breakers and stuff that are looking to just buy case after case after case, so they can resell it at an exorbitant price. That is a negative that is true to almost every set these days, but it is especially true for Bowman. The other thing that I think is a negative is the prospect checklist for this set is the exact prospect checklist that Bowman First Edition had, which came out a couple weeks ago. I think that that's going to hurt the long-term value of this set. That Bowman First Edition has a much lower production run. It is if you ask me, it is the true first card for a lot of these prospects. So saying it is a first Bowman card in this set isn't necessarily true, because there's the Bowman First Edition Bowman First card that came out just a couple weeks ago for all of these same prospects, and that set has a much lower production run. So long term, I think that set's going to be the one that holds the premium, and it's going to hurt the value of this particular set, but time will tell on that. That's just me guessing. I also don't like that there's no relic cards. Not that Bowman has ever been known for relic cards, but I do think that it would be cool if they threw in a relic set here or there. Then another negative, it's so hard to get. All the hobby stuff is already sold out everywhere. You can't get it anywhere, so it's already sold out. And as soon as it hits retail shelves, because of the investor hobbyists, we're going to have the same issue in retail, where it'll hit shelves and people will take it off shelves as fast as it showed up, which frustrates every day hobbyists that are just looking to get a few of these, maybe help build a set, or maybe bring some home to their kids and open it with their families. It's just we have a lot of big breakers that have taken over this thing, and then the shelf scrapers that just basically buy everything and then immediately go put it on eBay, go put it on all the different areas just to try and make a quick buck on it. I don't think it's very good for the hobby, and Topps has really got to do something to figure out how to get around that. But in the meantime, it's just frustrating, and that is a definite negative to Bowman. Then another thing that I haven't really covered off on, but the 2019 Bowman Draft checklist steals thunder from this checklist. If you remember back to December last year when Bowman Draft came out, you had Adley Rutschman, the #1 overall pick, C.J. Abrams, Riley Green, Alec Manoah, Hunter Bishop. There was a extremely strong checklist in Bowman Draft 2019. Now in 2020, you do have the international stars, which have kind of come in, but it is not quite as strong, and they did such a good job on the checklist in 19 that I think this checklist is not quite as strong because of 2019 Bowman Draft and a lot of the first Bowman cards that were in that set. So a little bit of thunder stolen. Still a really good checklist though overall. And then finally, I think the fact that it's basically sold out everywhere before it's released. You can't get any hobby stuff. All the pre-order stuff that Walmart had, that's all gone. So it's good. For most people, this is going to be almost an impossible set to find right off the bat unless they pay secondary prices, which I would highly recommend not doing that, and resist that urge. That's the only way that the people will stop doing that and the prices get driven back down. So That brings us to our 1 cent sensational set rating. So here's how this works. We have 10 different categories: appeal, base checklist, inserts, parallels and variations, auto checklist, pack odds and production, card quality, historical value, artistic value, and cost value. So each one of these gets rated on a scale of 1 to 10. So with appeal, look, Bowman is so popular, it appeals to almost everyone. So I'm going to give it a 9. The base checklist, we kind of just went over this. I'm going to give it a 7. I don't think it's as strong as everyone thinks it is. I think 2019 Bowman Draft had a better checklist, but still lots of good 2020 rookies in here, lots of good prospects in here, lots of international prospects, 35 new Bowman first cards. So I'm still going to give it a 7. The inserts, they've done another great job on inserts. I'm giving the inserts a 9. Just really, really nice insert sets this year. Then the parallels and variations. Look, there's a parallel rainbow. That rainbow like never ends. You've got the Gary V variations. I think the parallels, it's one of the strong reasons to buy into this set. So the parallels, I'm going to go ahead and give that a 9. The auto checklist, another same thing. The auto checklist is what everyone is after. The autos in this are fantastic this year. I'm going to give that a 9. For pack odds and production, I do think that the pack odds will be a little bit long because the production is high on this stuff, so you would think that it would be lower than a 7. But because of the fact that everything is so inflated and this is so in demand right now, I don't really think that applies as much. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 7 anyways. And then card quality. If I take a look at Bowman First Edition and say we're basically going to get the same as that, the card quality of Bowman First Edition was fantastic. Really nice feel in the hand, not overly produced, not overly glossed, but also, no rough edges or anything like that. So the card quality, I'm going to give an 8. The historical value of Bowman, probably don't need to talk too much about that. It is the one set that holds more value than any other set. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a 9. Would probably give it a 10, but nothing is perfect. So I'm going to give this a 9. Artistic value, so the overall card design. Card design is beautiful this year, guys. I think it's really nice. I don't think there's much they could do to improve it, so I'm going to go ahead and give that an 8. And then cost value, I'm going to give it a 7. Retail, I think, is going to save this a little bit from the inflated prices. But even with some of the inflated prices, the fact that this stuff holds so much value and basically only goes up, I still think buying it, even if it's expensive, is not necessarily a bad deal if you can get it for the right price. Because if you can hold on to it and hold on to some of this stuff, or maybe hit a few good cards here, the value of some of these cards could be worth a ton in the future. So it's a little bit of a gamble, but I will go ahead and give it a 7. So here's how this is going to work, guys. We're going to add up all of our scores that we just went over, and we're going to give it a rating of 1 to 5 stars. 5 stars being like one of the best sets we've ever seen. 4 stars being a very strong set, one that I would definitely recommend getting into and trying to be a part of. 3 stars get you a score between 45 and 65. Not a bad set, kind of a run-of-the-mill set, but maybe a few highlights. Totally up to you if you buy in. And once you start getting down to 2 stars and 1 star, maybe you steer clear a little bit. So how does 2020 Bowman Baseball rank on the 1 cent sensational set rating? Well, this year it is getting a final rating of 82, so a high 4-star set. I do believe it is a very strong set. A little bit of a knock on the checklist, but nothing major. My biggest knock on Bowman is the fact that it is become inflated, and we all know the reasons why it has become inflated. But if you can get some retail stuff, if you got in before the prices got inflated, I think it's a very solid set. My only advice would be don't overpay for breaks. I know that a lot of people probably did get in early on this. There will be people out there breaking for exorbitant prices, and there will be people that don't price gouge as much and will give it to you at a much more reasonable cost. So be on the lookout. Pay attention to who you're buying in from breaks. Steer clear of the secondary market as much as you possibly can. So yeah, for this one, we're giving it an 82. So how does that stack up to all the other sets that have come out in 2020? Well, to no one's real surprise, I don't think, it scored an 82, and it is coming in as our top rated set of the season so far. Season is still young and a lot can change, but it ranks above Topps Gypsy Queen, which came in at a 72, and our top 3 sets so far this season are Bowman Baseball, Topps Gypsy Queen, and Topps Series 1. The only one that I think on my list that I maybe had wrong a little bit was Donruss. I think Donruss maybe should be a little bit higher, but when I rated Donruss, my big knock was historical value on it. And as if you've been paying attention, the prices on Donruss cards are falling while the prices on Donruss boxes are going up. So that's interesting. But I do think with the historical value, I'm going to stick to my guns on my Donruss one. I know I've taken some flack for it. But I do think that it is probably rated more accurately, but maybe it should be a couple points higher. I will not say that I am perfect. And this sensational set ranking is not a scientific measure of all things hobby. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this set review. I hope you guys enjoy opening up your packs of 2020 Bowman, buying into breaks and getting in on some of the action. Be sure to throw over to first and hit that like button if you like this review, and also be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell so you can get all of the set reviews and know everything about these sets as they come out, and have all the knowledge you need to become a better collector and a better investor in these sets. So with that, guys, I am going to sign off. Thank you for watching the 1 cent sensational set guide for Bowman Baseball 2020. Take care of your family. Good luck on all of your pack rips. And with that, I am going to sign off. Thanks for watching.